Hello, welcome to Math at Home. I hope you had fun teaching the fourth grade class today. We are back in my dining room because Justin's room is a little bit too messy to use. And we are talking about one of my favorite math topics ever. It's your first introduction really to algebraic thinking, and it is called Pemdas. Now you should have with you your beautiful notes that I typed up for you. Yay, thanks Mrs. Clark. In front of you. And we're going to go over your notes and go over some examples. I don't by any chance expect you to learn this whole thing tonight, but I think you can get a really good start on it, especially because of the way you've been working in math. PEMDAS is all about what we've been talking about in math. You work meticulously, you work neatly, you underline, you figure out what you're doing, and you do it, and you're going to be great at it. So let's talk about what PEMDAS means. PEMDAS is the order of operations. And what the scientific community did was they set a certain way that you would work a math problem if there's multiple steps so that there's a universal answer, because you can get more than one answer. We're going to explore that in class tomorrow. Today I want to show you how to get the right answer. And you do that by following these steps. Now it says, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's an acronym to help you remember it, or PEMDAS is the acronym. And it stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, and notice their group because you do them together, and addition and subtraction. Okay, let's start with a quick explanation. First is parentheses. If you see on your sheet, there's 3 different ways to write them. They're called brackets, they're called braces. They are the first thing that you do. All right, you always do them first. And within the set of parentheses, you follow the order of operations. Now, as you move up and up and up through math, you'll realize that you do brackets first, then parentheses. But for today, I'm just going to include one set probably in your problems. Your next step is exponents. We learned a little bit about exponents when we were doing multiplication. We talked about 10 to the 4th, 10 to the 5th, and how it didn't mean 10 times 5, but 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Well, the same is true for any base number with an exponent. So if you look, you always do your exponents second, and it means the number of times you multiply a number. So 3 cubed does not mean 9. It does not mean 3 times 3. It means 3 times 3 times 3. I have 3 3s, which is 9 times 3, which is 27. 2 to the 4th does not mean 2 times 4. It is not 8. It means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Or 4 times 2 times 2, or 8 times 2, or 16. Remember, your base number is what you multiply, and your exponent is how many times you multiply it out. The next step is multiplication and division. They're bracketed because you work them together, and you always work them left to right. If you look at your notes, I do have an example, so follow along with me. It says 27 divided by 3 times 4 divided by 6. You don't work all your division and then all your multiplication, and you don't work all your multiplication and then all your division. You do them as one step together. So first you would do the 27 divided by 3 to get 9. Then you would do the 9 times 4 to get 36. And then you would do the 36 divided by 6 to get 6. And as you can see, I made a mistake on your notes. I'm going to fix that now, so you're just going to have a little crossed out thing on your notes. All right. Your last step is adding and subtracting, which also is done together. And it's always from left to right. It's just the way you read. And if it looks, you say adding and subtracting is one group step. Always work from left to right. On your paper, I give you an example. There's addition and subtraction. You do it all at once. You don't do all the addition at first, and you don't do all the subtraction at first. They're one step left to right. So you have 4 plus 6 minus 5 plus 9 equals, which gives you 4 plus 6 is 10, minus 5, plus 9 equals, 10 minus 5 is 5, 5 plus 9 equals 14. Easy enough. Now let's see if we can apply it to some real-world expressions. Please remember that the difference between an expression and an equation is that an expression does not have an equal sign. If you'll look, none of these have equal signs. They're expressions, so we are going to evaluate them, and we are going to evaluate them doing PEMDAS. And I want you to do it on your paper exactly the way I'm doing it on this sheet. This is how you should always do PEMDAS. You look at your problem and you think, I need to do the parentheses first. So I'm going to underline the parentheses. Now within the parentheses, I need to do the order of operations first. So I need to multiply first. So first I'm going to have 4 minus 3. And then I'm going to bring down the rest of my expression because I don't want to forget it. 4 minus 3 is 1. I have to do that first because it's in parentheses and I'm underlining the operation I'm doing, plus 10 squared. Now, before I can add the 1 and 10, I have to do my second order of operation, which is my exponent. Well, 10 squared is the same as 10 times 10. So I'm going to have 1 plus 10 times 10, which is the same as 1 plus 100, which is 101. And if you look, as you're working the order of operations, you're going to create a funnel. Your expressions should get smaller and smaller each time, although this time it got bigger because of the exponent. All right, let's try the next one. If you look, I'm evaluating this expression and I say, wow, there's parentheses in there. I definitely need to do those first. So I'm going to underline those. I'm going to do 8 times 8 minus 6 is 2 plus 4 squared. Then I'm going to say, wow, I have an exponent. That's my next order of operation. Well, I know 4 squared is not 4 times 2. It's not 8. It's 4 times 4. So I have 8 times 2 plus 16. Now if I look, I put a 12 there. It should be a 2. Now if I look, I have 8 times 2 and 2 plus 16. Well, if I follow my order of operations, I know that my multiplication and division come next. So now I have to multiply. 8 times 2 is 16, and I still have the 16. And now I have 16 plus 16, which is 32. And once again, you can see it funnels down. All right, let's try a couple more. If you look at the next one, you have 9 minus 5 divided by 8 minus 3 times 2 plus 6. That's a long one. Let's try it. Got to do the parentheses first, and I got to rewrite everything. And it's okay to rewrite everything. 9 minus 5 divided by, and 8 minus 3 is 5, times 2 plus 6. Now in this problem there are no exponents, so I move on to my next step, which is multiply and divide. I do that as one. I don't do the multiplication first. I'm going to do multiplying and dividing left to right. So my first multiplication or division problem is 5 divided by 5. So I have 9 minus 1, because that's what 5 divided by 5 is, times 2 plus 6. Now I can't do the 9 minus 1 first, because I haven't finished my multiplication and my division step yet. So now I have to look at this step. Well, 1 times 2 is 2, thanks to the identity property of multiplication. So 9 minus 2 plus 6. Now I'm down to my last step, which is addition and subtraction. And once again, I work left to right. I don't do the 2 plus 6 first. Even though it's addition and subtraction, it's addition and subtraction together. So I'm going to underline my 9 minus 2, which is 7, plus 6. And my final evaluation is 13. And wow, it's a long one. Now I'm going to run out of time on my tape before I can do this last problem. So it's a challenging one. There's a bunch of steps. I want to see how you do, and I will ask you in class tomorrow. You can hear my dog. That means I have to go take care of her now. So take care, and I will see you tomorrow.